All right, folks, actress, author, entrepreneur, social media star, Tabitha Brown. Let's just say caused some people's getting their feelings when she said this the other day about entrepreneurs and jobs.
Hello there. Real quick, this is not to discourage you, because I want us to be clear about that first, okay? You kind of been in this place for a long time, okay? Now listen, you got good ideas. Baby, you got good ideas. Your execution is not as good, okay? Your follow-through, not as good. The ideas, though, are great. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And that doesn't mean it's not for you, but right now, these last few months, few years, you know what I'm talking about. Baby, it ain't been working for you, okay? And you're doing a lot of robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, you done got yourself in some mess, and it's time for you to get a job. You hear me? You just gonna need to get a job for a little while. Okay, it don't mean your ideas ain't good. Okay, it don't mean that maybe one day you could be a good entrepreneur. But you have proven to yourself and everybody else that you owe money to, okay, that it ain't working right now. Okay, it ain't worked for a while. It actually has never worked yet. Doesn't mean it won't ever work. But right now, you need to go to work. You're going to need to get a job, okay? And then keep working towards it. But at least you'll have a job while you are pursuing that thing. But right now, you need to get a job, baby. All right? That's it. I love you. Now go about your business. Okay, have a good night. Tomorrow, have a good day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's him. Don't be mad at me, okay?
So I'm sitting here perusing social media, and I'm looking at people who were just in their feelings, upset, mad, angry, saying that Tabitha was wrong for what she had to say, and that it was just, how does she squash someone else's dream? And I'm sitting here and I'm reading all of this sort of stuff, and I'm like, really? Let me explain to y'all something. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. My grandmother had a catering business. But do you know what my grandmother was doing while she was building her catering business? She was working at a florist. Yeah, she was a florist. And so she was excellent at floral arrangements. And then decided to open a catering business. And she was working at the florist and starting her catering business. And then when the catering business reached a certain level, then she left the florist to run the catering business. My mom had a cake business. I remember my mom taking the classes, the icing classes, the decorative classes. That was at nighttime. She was working in an insurance company in the daytime. And so the cakes was a side business. But she had a job. I have said to people for years, my sister is a great artist, business. But what did I tell my sister? While you are building your art business, that is your side hustle. You need a main hustle. I've said this to people for years, that if you're trying to start a business, very rarely do you simply come out of the gates, boom, you're ready to go. No, because you've got office, you've got equipment, you've got expenses. And so what you have to do is methodically build. And so this is the example. I'm going to show y'all exactly how I've explained this. This is your main job. This is your side hustle. And your job is to take your side hustle and it does this here. And it does this here. Until your side hustle is equaling your main hustle. And now you have a decision to make. And that decision is, does my side hustle now become my main hustle, or do I keep my main hustle and I'm satisfied with my side hustle being right here? Because see, understand something here. And my brother, he's had to do this. I totally get it. Hey, I got a business, but I need health insurance. So I'm going to run my business, but I'm going to still do this job over here because it's giving me health insurance. So even though I really, really, really want to do this, I'm not ready to pay my own health insurance because I got it over there. It's the same concept, y'all. So I don't understand why these people are acting a fool. What Tabitha had to say. It's some basic common ass sense. "95% of all black-owned businesses do $5 million or less in revenue. When the study was done, they said there were 2.9 million black-owned businesses in America. 2.8 million had one employee. I said those are not businesses. Those are sole proprietors. For me, a business, if you've got 2 or more employees, not one person. I'm not going to call it a business. I'm just not. So I don't understand why people don't get this. And see, I know everybody named Mama right now is, oh, I'm trying to secure my bag. I want to be a boss. But let me be real clear. A bunch of y'all can't be a boss. Because you know shit about being a boss. See, let me be as blunt as possible. Having CEO on a business card does not mean you have a business. Having founder on your business card does not mean you have a business. I need y'all to understand, I get more people who roll up on me, who want to come on the show and want to be in the marketplace segment. Oh man, I got a business. I got a business. Do you really have a business? Or do you have a side hustle? Now see, I've discussed this before. We celebrated 70 years yesterday, Roland Martin Unfiltered. My TV One show was canceled, I think December 7th or December 9th. I think it was December 7th. The final show was 2 weeks later. In January of 2008, that was 2017. January of 2018, we decided to do the State of Our Union on January 30th, 2018. There were black members of Congress who said they would not go to attend Trump's speech to Congress. I'm at the Image Awards. I'm like, we could do this special. Now, here was the deal. Well, we did it at Metropolitan Church in D.C. And then what happened was, and we were doing it together, so we were trying to figure out, what do we need to do? What do we need? What equipment do we need? I'm sorry, my apologies. It was at Shiloh Baptist Church on January 30th. My apologies, Shiloh Baptist Church. I already own the cameras. I own the switcher. I own the lights. What we need to do was we needed the bar stools, so we went and bought the bar stools. So I probably end up spending probably a couple of $1,000s. But basically, everything we needed for the broadcast I already owned. How? Well, because when I was at TV One and at CNN, I was buying equipment while I was there. Did y'all hear what I said? So the job that I had was allowing me to purchase equipment for my business. Now, mind y'all, I had my business for 15 years. When I was at CNN, CNN was paying my business. TV One was paying my business. Tom Jones Morning Show was paying my business. I was a contract worker. Okay? But I didn't have my fully functioning business. So I was buying equipment when I had these jobs. So when January 2018 rolls around, I'm no longer with CNN. My TV One contract was only 8 more months. Tom Jones was ending December 2019. But I was building the business while having a job, and that was paying for all of this stuff. So when it was time to go full throttle on the business, I just pivoted. And so that's the lesson she's trying to explain to some of y'all. So if you are mad and upset with what she said, here's my question. Do you have a real business right now? And if you don't, why are you acting like hit dog hollering? See, I need a lot of people in our community to sometimes shut the hell up and realize you don't know what the hell you're talking about. No one is trying to kill your dream. What they're trying to do is give you some critical information that will allow you to be able to methodically and organically build your business, take your idea from idea to inception, to fruition, to success. Now, if some of y'all are so hard-headed, go on right ahead. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the road is littered with wannabe entrepreneurs who burn through all of their money, who burn through all their relationships, who went out and got office space and did all this sort of stuff, and they had no business plan. And in many ways, they had no business being in business. Go to my panel for thoughts. It's amazing how people are so reactionary, Michael, that they don't even know when they're getting sound advice. But they're so caught up in their ego, in their feelings, that they just want to lash out as opposed to go, that's some good advice. Let me think about that.
Absolutely, or they're caught up in their dreams. So I saw the video today. I read the article from thegrio.com. For those that don't know, I'm not only a historian, but I taught entrepreneurship for 7 years. I helped Black people start businesses, get funding for businesses. I evaluated their business plans as well. And the first thing I told my students is don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day job. Build your business while you are still working, while you have a steady paycheck, while you have health care and dental and vision, all that, because you're going to have to constantly reinvest in your new business. Most likely, you're not going to be able to pay yourself a salary the first year or second year, et cetera. And when it comes to African-American owned businesses, currently approximately 8 out of 10 African-American owned businesses go out of business in the first 18 to 24 months, which means most likely you're going to lose your investment, et cetera. Okay, so I'm all for people being entrepreneurs who want to be entrepreneurs, okay? Secondly, I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. This is not glamorous. This is some tough shit. This ain't for everybody, okay? A lot of people get a false impression of being an entrepreneur from economic empowerment gurus who make money selling entrepreneurship classes and entrepreneurship books. That's a whole nother conversation. Some of it is good. That's their hustle. And they're trying to keep hustling so that they don't have to get a job in the cubicle next to you. So a lot of them are selling dreams. But get a business plan. This is sound advice right here. And you're going to need health insurance, okay? I'm in a situation now. I've had to go get a job a few times. I got a full-time job now, and I like it because I got health insurance for the first time in a few years. My blood pressure is healthy because it was at 193. Okay, I had high blood pressure. I lost 35 pounds the right way. I'm cool. And I still have my business bringing in money. So this is sound advice. Don't take it personally. And she told people, I'm not trying to discourage you. Okay?
Right.
Look, some of y'all have to get a job. And that's absolutely correct.
So So Candace, again, I think right now, people love the concept of being the boss. They love the idea of being an entrepreneur. They don't really want to deal with the realities of being an entrepreneur. And this is one of those lessons that you have to deal with, because you still got to have your house note paid, or your mortgage paid, or your apartment paid, and you got a car note, and you got food, and you got other expenses. I mean, look, listen, and guess what? You may operate that way for 6, 8, 10 years before you're ready to go to the next level. That's fine. But you got to be patient and understand you have to build to that point. That's what it's called, building.
Exactly. And I have a business. I've had a business for like 16, 17 years. If you are looking online, and like Michael said, you are going into these free online sessions where they get on, and then as he said, really that person on the other side is making money off of you because you're buying their business plan. You have to stay out of that lane, because Instagram will make you think that you can do a million things, and it's all not true. It's just in your algorithm. It just keeps on feeding you wrong information. Let's go back to Tabitha's backstory. This is why she's a good person to listen to this information from. What was it, 2017? She was eating a vegan sandwich from Whole Foods that went viral, 50,000 hits in one day, 1 million in a week. And then because of her enthusiasm and what she did, she got on TikTok and she built and she built and she built. 2017 was what, 8 years ago? That didn't just happen overnight. So she knows exactly what she's talking about. And she had other dreams. She was driving an Uber at that time, eating that sandwich in a car. That was her side hustle. She wanted to also be an actor and do other things that she was able to do now. But she built all of that and had all of these things going. There's no person in this world, even if you are a multi-millionaire, you should not just have one income anyway. It doesn't make any sense, because your job that you are so loyal to is not going to be loyal to you when they're ready to let you go. They will let you go quicker than you could kick your favorite dog, as the saying goes. So you always have to have a side hustle. Multi-millionaires who are out there have a side hustle. Beyonce doesn't just sing and dance. She's got perfume. She had a clothing line. She's got, different things. It's never just one thing anyway. You should never depend on one thing as your income. And if you're sitting home and you have zero in your account, but you are hoping and building on just a dream and your hope, that hope is not going to pay your bills. You talked about pivoting before. You can't pivot in the dark because your lights are on, because you can't pay the electric bill. You're going to trip over yourself. If you don't have any money and you've exhausted all of your resources, all of your friends, all of your network, which is what a lot of people do, then you do have to get a job. And what's the matter with having a job? What's the matter with having some insurance? Now, some people might say, yeah, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do an Uber. I wouldn't work on the side at Macy's. I could never work in Walmart. Well, that's on you, because sometimes those are the jobs that you have to work in order to build your dream. We have so much, privilege and rights that we kind of banter about online, and we're just kind of not seeing the forest for the trees for the forest, however it goes. We are not seeing the light. And the light is that if you don't have money, and if your job is not, if your entrepreneurial spirit has kind of exasperated everybody around you, soon you're going to start losing people. Lost your money, now you're losing people. I see it happen all the time. It's okay to have a job. It is okay to have a job. Not everyone's going to be an Instagram star, and that's okay. Your time will come. Until then, you need money in your pocket.
Matt, I love these folk who believe they want to have their own law practice. And you go, you got any clients? Because if you ain't got no clients, you just got a shingle.
No, have you been to law school?
Well,
No. First of all, obviously, if somebody wants to have their own practice, they've been to law school. But my point is, you can go to law school. You can actually pass the bar. But again, if you're going to start a law firm, you kind of got to have clients. You need revenue. Matt?
Well, I mean, you got to start somewhere. I was going to say, you always throw me off when I expect you to be loud and wrong as usual, and you're not. You're 100% right on this segment, I think.
First of all, I am never loud and wrong. So maybe your audio is bad, but go on right here with your little comment.
Go ahead and rewrite history. But in any event, here's my position on it. I think you're 100% right. I think Tabitha Brown is 100% right. But I think this speaks to a larger cultural issue. And for once, actually, I'll disagree pretty vehemently with Candace. I think we live in a society where we should be able to subsist on one job. I don't think you should have to have a side hustle. We should live in a society where there are enough government programs and other things that we have that allow people to go to one job, work a good job, and provide for their family on that. Now, don't get me wrong. Retail, other jobs may not provide you enough to do that substantially, but a cultural problem in the idea that everyone needs to have a side hustle. You shouldn't have to have a side hustle, and I think that's a relatively new economic phenomenon that as many people need to have side hustles to survive as do. But aside from that, I think the larger cultural issue is that we have an issue with not being in control, right? Like what we see lionized and what you see glamorized that you've already spoken to, I think, very well, is this idea of being the boss. But there is no lack of dignity in not being the boss. You know, there's no lack of dignity in working for an organization. I'm a seasoned lawyer. I'm in high demand where I am. I work for a firm. I'm not the person who owns this firm. I could go out and start a firm, but I don't feel like I'm successful because I work for an attorney firm right now as opposed to working for myself. I can do that if I want to do that at some point, but I don't feel like I'm less important or less successful because I work for a firm where I became a named partner, but when I started out, I wasn't a named partner here. My point with it is that's a cultural thing that I feel like is a relatively new phenomenon, especially where everybody feels like they have to be the boss to be valuable. And I think that's the larger problem here. And I think that's why people took such umbrage to this, because what you see pumped out every day on social media is you're behind the curve if you don't have your own LLC. You're behind the game if you don't all the tax code and all that stuff. And all that stuff is BS, man. I mean, there's no lack of dignity in working a job. It's good if you can have a side hustle. It's good if you have the bandwidth. It's good if you have specialized skills. It's good if you have the vision to capitalize on those things. But there is no shame in being a plumber. There's no shame in working for the local school district. There's no shame in working a good, honest job and putting food on the table. And, you know, in this situation, I've got 3 boys at home. If I were out seeking some entrepreneurial dream and I was not putting food on the table, by all means, excoriate me and tell me to go get a job. But if I'm able to, you know, provide for them as the way I need to and I have a side hustle, then cool. But if I don't, that's also cool. And I think a lot of the thing is right now we're seeing this conversation where it's like everybody's got to be this boss, and that's the larger issue. And I think that's why people feel a little attacked. But I think her advice and her opinion is spot on. I think you should work, and I don't think there's any shame in doing both things at the same time.
Matt, I got to jump in.
No,
Matt,
absolutely.
What are you going to tell?
Candace, go ahead, get in his ass. Get in his ass.
Matt, what do you want to tell the 319,000 black women that lost their job between February and July? What about those who had a side hustle? You think they're better off or worse off? They're better off. You can't depend on a job in this economy in 2025. I'm sorry. Yeah. Even back in the day, my mom was a teacher. She also taught piano. My dad was in education, and then he also owned properties, the properties which, you know, they were able to relay over to the legacy and all of their daughters. You got it. Black in America, I'm sorry. Even just the whole idea of staying in one job for a creative person who's going to explode sitting on that 9 to 5, you better have a side job somewhere or side hustle somewhere. You mentioned, you know, being a plumber. What if somebody has an accident? Then what happens? You can't, you know, do anything if you've lost your leg or lost your right arm. You talked about being on the school board or a teacher. What if the school closes? What if the charter school closes? What if you lose your job? The side hustle was good. Yeah. I'm saying that you don't want to be caught out there without anything on the side. Plus, even if you are a multimillionaire, not a multimillionaire doesn't just have one job. They invest, they buy properties, they do other things. It doesn't matter what level. I just think you're missing the message on it, that when I say side hustle or another job, I don't mean that in a pejorative way at all. I mean that no matter who you are, billionaires don't just have one job. Think of all the billionaires you know. They don't do just one thing. we shouldn't either.
Sure. Sure. And here's the thing, good sister. I think you actually missed how I framed it. So I think it's a matter of, I think you should be able to subsist on one job. Now, if there's a different question as to whether it's prudent to have a side hustle, then by all means, we can have that conversation. But you know, contingencies, things that can happen. I mean, I don't disagree with you. If I lost my job today, I wasn't able to practice law, I'd have to pivot. That would be an enormous change to my life. But should I be able to go to one job in this country with the riches this country has and be able to provide for my family? Absolutely. I don't think you should have to have a side hustle, irrespective of whether a lot of people do. I don't think that there's a problem with necessarily having a side job, and I surely didn't think you were characterizing it in a pejorative way. I think culturally we have an issue if most of the economy cannot subsist on one job where they put enough food on the table to buy a home, keep food over the
Okay, all right, stop. All right. Okay.
I mean,
All right. First, listen. Stop. Okay, that's a separate conversation. Okay? So, first of all, both of y'all are correct. All Matt you're simply saying is, we're not saying everybody's to have a side hustle. The whole point is this here. The conversation here is, if you're choosing to be an entrepreneur, you have to build your business properly. And you can't walk away from a job when you don't have enough revenue coming in to sustain your lifestyle. So, all she was saying and all I'm saying is, if you would have an idea and you want to have a job, you begin to methodically build your business, keep your job, have your health care and your dental and those things. And as I said, this is it. Then all of a sudden, when it gets here, now you're at decision time, and it's simple as that. Before I go to break, Matt, what happened on Saturday? Matt, can you read that for me, Matt?
Take that down. Go ahead and take that down. Nope, we're not even doing it.
He's getting you.
Matt, what? Because
I brought this for you tonight.
Because Matt, I recall you. It was a whole lot of trash you were talking, and I told you y'all were gonna lose to Ohio State, and y'all did. But Matt, don't you also have a professional football team?
Don't do that, man. Come on now.
Matt.
Come on now.
Matt, not only did you take an L from Candace tonight, you now have taken 2 L's in the past 6 days. So put the graphic back up. No. That fly, Eagles fly. That also goes for Henry in the control room. Oh, big time Cowboys fan. That's right. Give me a shout of control room. That goes for Deshaun, our driver. That goes for Antoine, our videographer. All 3 of them are super hyped Cowboy fans, but they used to taking them L's. They used to it. So Matt, I told you I'm going to be King Petty, and see, I wasn't even going to do that, Matt. I literally said that in the last 3 minutes, but it wasn't until you made that little trifling ass comment about me being loud and wrong, and I said, literally, I literally had no plan. If you look at the show chat, I literally sent it at 7:44, like 60 seconds after you made your comment, and so I went, oh, since you now got something to say, let me go ahead and be petty.
Well, I was sitting on my couch stalking when you sent me a video. You sent me on the golf course saying, "Ooh, how'd that turn out, Matt?" On Saturday, I didn't want to hear it. So go ahead, call me out now. But it's going to be November 28th. We're getting that dub against the Aggies, and you won't have anything to say when I'm on your show next week.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I'll be petty. See, sometimes don't touch that stove. Your mom and daddy told you, don't touch that hot stove. But see, your ass want to go ahead and touch that stove. And, yeah, I had something for you. Let me go to a break.
Smoke.
I'll be right back.
All right.
While Matt has to now go get some ice from that kicking his ass that Candace gave him, the Eagles gave him, and the Buckeyes gave him. I'll be back in a moment.
Be sure to register for my new online history course. Visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. This class is on Saturdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to start Saturday, August 6th, 2025. Go to our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, and scroll down. This is African empires, the Moors, and the transatlantic slave trade, 5000 BC to 1800 AD. This is a 10-week online course. We're actually going to start on Saturday, September 6th. Click right here to register. Classes on sale, $80. We do the sessions live. All the sessions are archived and recorded. You can go back and watch it anytime. And one of the things we'll talk about are various African empires, whether we talk about ancient Nubia or the Kush Empire, ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, Great Zimbabwe, Carthage, the Nok culture. We're going Meroe, Axum. We're going through and looking at history, thousands of years of history, various African empires, and then also we'll deal with the transatlantic slave trade and how it evolved. So we'll look at history from 5000 BC through 1800 AD. You'll get 5 of my lectures in digital download format free with this. And then also be sure to download our class lesson plan here as well. Click on the download button to download our class lesson plan. And visit my website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Our social media handles are here as well. And you can email me through the website. Just click on contact the African History Network. So this class is PG-13. You can use this content with your children. Also, I don't do a lot of cursing or anything like that. It's very visual. There are 80 to 100 articles that we reference in the class. I show you the articles on the screen. There are 15 books that we reference. You don't have to buy any of the books. We show you the books we show you the pages of the books on the screen as well. And there are 200 slides in the class also. Okay. So I have a PowerPoint presentation. There are video clips that we show, excerpts of interviews I've done with some of our historians. I've been teaching this class on and off since 2017. So it has evolved immensely since then. Also, you can support the African History Network through PayPal and Cash App. We have the information right on the homepage of my website. If you scroll down, $ the AHN show through Cash App and through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show. This is our Cash App. Tag $ the AHN show, SHOW. When you go to it, it'll say Michael and show my picture there. Okay, these are some fake African History Network Cash App accounts that have been stealing money from us. And I put our tag right here. Here's our link to our Cash App, QR code. Okay, so you can support us there if you want to donate support us $5, $10, $15, $25, $50, $100, whatever it is. It definitely helps us keep doing the research, stay on the air, pay some of the bills, and broadcast the Sunday night show also. And here's our link for PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show. Okay. All right. So look, we have to get out of here. Remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win.